I can open it.
We're going live now.
I can open it.
You should, because then you can be part of chat better.
I like talking to people. I'm actually not going to talk very much today.
Why not?
Because it hurts.
I mean, that's unfortunate, but I won't give you anything to smile about, then it'll hurt less.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Carl.
Hi, Carl.
No talking. All right, so we're here. Oh, I forgot to check, but I feel like I have a birthday this week to announce. So just 1 second while I double check. John had a birthday this week. And then I'm counting. No, we'll see before I have the next birthday to announce. So John Agohiza, happy birthday. If you're here, if you're not here, I still hope you're having a happy birthday. And yeah. Woo! Wow, Bubba, that is very specific. And I think David's doing all the reacts. I was excited that other people were reacting to what we were saying.
I'm from California.
Are you suggesting that Bubba should not use that phrase because I'm not from California?
Well, the quote marks are only for you. I'm from here.
So to distinguish the two of us, yes, David is from here. I am not.
Mm-hmm.
That is indeed the case.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, Mateus, I am so sorry. Ugh. But that is indeed important that you are here. So yay! All right. So, are we ready to jump right in today, or do we need to, is there other business to take care of today?
I don't think so.
Trying to minimize the amount of talking David needs to do, but at the same time,
I have a very bad canker sore.
I say at the same time they're going to find out that I'm the least interesting one of this duo. And so this duo. Is that a reference? But anyway. That's what I just said?
Mm-hmm.
This duo?
Mm-hmm.
Because of this duo and you're being weird? Is that? So this is. And it's true. It's true. But we did have a really cool poll this week. And absolutely gorgeous, I think, figures. Although I feel like when you said 90 degrees this way, did you mean 90 degrees that way?
No.
To match. So the point of the nose should be over here.
The point of the nose is there as opposed to right there.
And so shouldn't it be flipped 90 degrees to the left?
No, it moved 90 degrees that way.
To me, what you wrote there means flip it 90 degrees this way
Mm-hmm.
to be the opposite.
For the difference between this and that is 90 degrees that way.
That was not clear to me on looking at your images from the notebook. Like it is in terms of like where the point of the nose was, but I suddenly realized I was flipping them the wrong way in my head. However, and when he says on the mouth, he means in the mouth. Like the scratch was inside his lip.
Oh, there's also this right here. That's
well,
less
yeah,
of a
that
concern.
was the outside one. There is an inside spot, and yeah, and so anyway, we had 3 amazing options, and I loved them all for very different reasons. The A options reminded me of like MC Escher style mind games because it's like, especially that bottom one where, you know, it comes from to dig. Like, it looked like a 3D structure that wasn't 3D, and so my brain kept like seeing multiple paths into it, like the staircases from MC Escher, and I loved it. The middle one is, I think, much more sort of a elegant, scripty kind of thing, which is awesome. And then the right one gives us some more Roman serify options, which is also cool. And so, yeah, I was really happy with all 3 of these, and I am super excited to find out which one won out.
There was some vote switching at the end, and so the result is actually quite clear. A had the least number of votes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It had something else going against it, which is there was a copy and paste error. Oh, and I know how it happened. Because there's still a typo there. I typed Errol Flynn, and then I didn't know quite how it was spelled. And I looked it up and saw that there were 2 R's. And when I tried to put in the second R, there was some sort of a weird thing that happened where I selected text and it flipped it, and then it ended up putting in the description of A. And it didn't fix that. And so then I didn't realize it. And it won't let me fix the typo, which is a shame.
I think it's really weird about poll typos because it updates the post, but if it's a poll post, like it can't update it without losing all previous votes. So like I think it's really weird about letting you update those.
Yeah, and it's got a funky interface. This does anyway. So for like the first little bit, the description was like started like mid-word and was half of the description of B. And
yeah.
So I finally fixed it, but I think the damage is done there. So yeah, A did not win, and yeah, I think it's good. Now we don't have to worry about how they get bones. C and B were the top 2 vote getters, and it was close. But ultimately, B won out in each poll, so it was a clear winner.
Interesting. It's a really pretty one. Yeah. But I guess for whatever reason, I thought that our patrons would really go for A. And then I was going to see what you were going to do for serifs that looked like little bone-ins. I thought we were going to watch that drama play out. Mateus, honestly, like, C was really drawing my attention as well. But B is really, really pretty, and so that'll be a cool thing to go. I also like your brutalist script description here. That was good. Make it more Halloween-y. I like it. So cool. So that was our poll for the week. If you recall, You're right, Bubba. The name, the swashbuckler name, really was. Oh, and Viren switched because A was losing, and so I totally get that. Okay, so if you recall from last time, we had finished up on verbs and we had started in on ands, so on coordination. We had gotten through some like noun phrase coordination, and we had made decisions for how we would do sentence to sentence coordination. Although now I suddenly don't remember this note and why we have it. Is this, that's what's up here.
Yeah.
This is what we've already done. Okay. And those come from side. Okay, so we don't need that note anymore.
No.
Because that's what we did. Okay. So this was the noun phrase.
Yeah, we don't actually need this anymore.
Because these are all notes.
Yeah, we need to just come up with those.
We need leave and join as forms. Okay. And so here we had decided we're going to have, well, 3 different strategies for and, because our noun phrase coordination will be the comitative reading, but non-dirty, as David points out, because the cat is sleeping with the dog just means comitative. And for sentence to sentence, like the cat is sleeping and the dog is running. I don't know. Something like that will be a different strategy. So we need protoforms for leave and join.
And the coordinators will be smaller than that.
And I'm just like double checking that we don't have leave and join yet. No. Okay. Not that we would ever do such a mistake as to create a word twice in the same language. But I was just checking. And so, we need protoforms for leave and join, which as protoforms, as David had mentioned, you know, like when they become and, they'll be reduced. And so you thinking like CVC structures for the full form?
Yeah, whatever. Let's just do one at a time and see what people come up with. We'll figure out how to make them smaller.
Okay, so if you have a suggestion for a protoform for leave or join, please give it to us and make sure you indicate whether you feel like it is leave or join. Or if you don't care, you just like the protoform and you want it to be one or the other. And as a reminder, all the black, red, so if it's black or red, those can be used in protoforms. The green and the gold are later developments, phonologically speaking. And you can have diphthongs as long as they don't have the schwa in them. The schwa is not available. But yes, Baba, hi and bye. Very funny. Are legitimate forms for the language. And so now, Mateus, are you seconding Bubba's hey and bye?
I really can't wait till Lexergy goes to Lexergy.com.
The new version, the 0.2. All right, just to see what we're dealing with here, because it's now gotten, I don't know that I did do it.
They'll pretty much come out the same way.
It's hai and bai. Yeah. So those are legitimate options. I always have to remember to double check. Oh wait, how were we doing consonant clusters? Onset followed by R. Okay, that's what I thought. Oh my goodness. Okay. But that is.
There's no N.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that is much slower. I guess I could just do this. Nothing interesting happens to it. You're right. Oh my goodness. I'm totally, my brain is in a different language right now.
Not even close, Miles.
Yeah, Miles, B1. And now we're trying to get protoforms for join and leave. And right now, hai and bai are the only two that people have given us. And I'm trying to find something interesting, and I don't like any of these.
Yeah,
and David doesn't feel up to snuff. And so I'm just trying to like pop things in.
I guess that does work.
And whoops, wrong one. Oh. All right, so the L disappears in Lu. It just becomes Eu. That's interesting. Nothing I've done has been super interesting so far. We could get a 2-syllable. We could get something 2-syllable for the full form by ending with like a labialized consonant.
Yeah, let's work with these.
All right, so David is typing up a poll based on, I'm guessing, your favorite 4 forms. Bubba says if hai and bai wins, then hai should mean to leave, and the B should be pharyngeal. I don't know that that changes.
Including parentheses may be coordinated forms. Coordinated forms.
Oh, nice. Yeah, for the grammaticalized forms. Although I guess we have O. No, wait, do we have O in other forms? Would the AU, do you think, even be reduced further for the coordinated form?
No.
Okay. All right, so we got to pull out. And we'll see which two forms get the most votes. And then once the two forms that get the most votes, we'll just decide which one goes to which or have a runoff poll for which goes to which.
I don't know.
So also this is why I can't stream by myself.
You're doing fine.
I'm really not. I'm like floundering here waiting for David to talk more, but knowing that he can't really super do that. And
I'm not liking my hair right now.
Why?
Because it doesn't look good on the screen.
Put it back?
Mm.
I think it looks great. What's wrong with it? I like the look you have.
3 times or 5 times?
I'm not sure, anime fan. What 3 times or 5 times are you referring to? See what David is. I still don't get it, but anyway. Saying Bib's name. Oh my gosh. Okay, I did not get David's response. I was so lost on what we were doing. Wow. 3 should be enough. We've done it in typing. You have mentioned it, and David has stopped the poll. Bo and ha.
Now we can discuss whether hay or ha should be the and. I think probably ha or hay.
I'm gonna say, should we do the same? No, we shouldn't do a full permutation, huh? But hay would make sense given the A to A move. Love it, Bib. That's amazing. Okay, so
Be back.
all right, so David is taking a call. And where that is 0.25, 0.25. There we go. Are coordinated differently. If and then reading is required, then okay. If and also reading is required, then okay. So now we have to figure out which goes with which. So we have ha and bo. Those were our 2 forms. Okay. Bo and hai. protoforms, we're going to have one meaning join, one meaning leave, and potentially this will go to bo, and that may or may not go to ha. It may go to he. Okay, so I'm also going to go ahead and do this. And okay, the cat is sleeping. I think it's just mea a ram. Sleep. What is sleep? That is totally the wrong. Okay. Mea. I did it the wrong way. Okay, okay. Mea a is just the cat is sleeping. Okay. Ah! Wait, we have a lot of these. Okay. So mea a is the cat is sleeping. And then the dog runs. I think we have runs. Lajo. And then lajo. Bram. Because that should not have, because it should just be Bram for dog. This is triggered by the A, I believe. Okay. And then the dog runs. The cat sleeps and then the dog runs. One happens after the other versus the cat sleeps and also at the same time the dog runs. Okay. So I've got our two templates, I think, set up, I think.
Here, how about this? That would never be interpreted consecutively.
Then we don't want it there, because this is a consecutive reading.
Oh, I'm sorry, I put it in the wrong spot. I put it in the wrong spot. I'll fix it. There we go.
Okay. So now we got to figure out whether the bo or hai form means to join or to leave.
Oh.
Then we can figure out shortened forms from there to put in. I mean, to make it anti-screwy, hai could mean to leave.
Yeah.
Let's do hai. Now the question is it going to be hai, shortening to ha, or should it shorten to he?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay, he from he meaning to leave. Okay, is used. It's required, which is, of course, the consecutive reading. Okay. Which is obviously the simultaneous reading. Then the coordinator variable appears, and that word comes from, we do not B and I that, okay, fair enough, to join. Okay. All right. Oops. I just need to delete those. Okay. All right, so hi is to leave, bog is to join. There we go. Ah! All right, and those were just hi and boho. Okay. Hi. And that becomes bo. Boho to join. All right. I should have done this before we did our votes, but here we have it. Hi. How fine. Okay. And bowl. No, and that wasn't even used. Perfect. Okay, so we did not accidentally reuse forms that were already used. Not that we just did that last week. How you doing, David? What do you think? Oh. Yes, and it's in the document at the top. Interesting, Miles. So Miles is asking, could to break be a but not coordinator? But do you mean like specifically for the verbs? Like the cat is sleeping but not running, or and not running?
No.
We have negation strategies though, right?
No, it's the cat is sleeping but the dog is running.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm very close to having an idea for that. I just need to think through it.
The but not idea?
Mm-hmm. Where, so Viridian is asking, in languages where and comes from with, how comes it for and to assign a case to its coordinate? I don't know about the word coordinate, but I would say yes, absolutely. They're just the same construction with a different interpretation. Many of the languages that I have seen don't have case, so it is kind of, you know, it's immaterial. But I am fairly certain that I've seen at least one example where there is case, and indeed it does assign the exact same case. Yeah.
Like I'm really torn because I want to give David's brain space to think through this whole but not thing. I don't want to leave things hanging though, but I also don't know where to go next as he's thinking about that. And so I'm just staring at the document, which is not. That'd be an interesting cross-reference to do, and I'm trying to think, because on Grand Bank they let you cross-reference features, but I don't think that specifically a case. I don't know which one to like which feature to cross-reference the commutative and reading with on Grand Bank to figure that answer out in the best way possible.
This is the easiest thing to do. Find languages that have commutative cases and then look them up for the other feature. On Grand Bank. No, but I guess it would have to be an add position, because if it's a case, then it's a case, and it already has a
Right.
case. It
The
has to
question
be an add
is
position.
if the add position requires a case object. And I don't know how to cross-reference that.
You gotta first find languages where with and are the same, and then only look at the ones that have actual case. Not that one.
Wouldn't I want to look for the...
Oh, wait, no, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right.
And I would just want to look for the ones that are the same, right?
So present, yes. And now of the yeses, how many have marked case?
Wait. The object marker indicates that the noun phrase is the object of the postposition neon. And that's the and.
That's wow.
So about.
That's the very first language.
Very helpful.
So yeah, I mean, now that answers the question of possibility. Whether
possibility, yes, it's possible.
Then there's the question of, is it more likely or is it absolutely required?
This is interesting because it's both nouns get marked with the commutative case. If it were an actual commutative phrase, only one of the nouns would be marked with it.
Yeah, that's...
and so that's not quite the same question, but like
that's how,
an interesting thing.
That's how conjunction works in Dothraki. You say and X and Y. In fact, actually, wow, I didn't know that was a thing. That's exactly how it works in Dothraki, because the word for and is the same as the word for with. But when it's with, it's just the one of them.
Doesn't this mean it should not be present? Noun phrase coordination and commutative phrases are marked differently. I think there may be some issues here. Yeah, I feel like
some of these may not be accurate.
Right. Distinct is code 1. Same would be 0.
Oh.
But like, this doesn't make sense then.
No, it doesn't. Oh.
But this also is the same note as the other one.
Look at that.
Cannot be used to join noun phrases. The only option is the commutative preposition, but like, so I guess it would have to be whatever they require.
Yeah, so there would be no difference, so it would mark case.
Someone here like just deduced from examples. Okay, so I mean, it seems that it could require.
Oh my gosh, there's a new type of juxtaposition. It's yuxtaposition.
It's a very special type.
Wow.
Makes you wonder how many typos there are in this.
I mean, it's probably correct because I'm guessing that's not actually Spanish, but yeah.
It's very interesting that they then went ahead and coded it 0 when they're like, not many were found. In fact, only on 2 pages were with found. And so we're going to go ahead and assume these are the same.
Yeah,
anyway.
That should have been not, like, should have been the other one, the question mark.
That, whoops, is fascinating to me. We'll go back to that. Here we go. Sorry, David, I totally sidetracked whatever thought you may have been having about the but not. Do you still have a thought?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Also, I remember how we did the copular negation. That's right. Okay. We use the same strategies for verbs. Okay. Because I guess one of the questions is do we need a but not if we have, these different negation strategies? Would you not just say the dog sniffs the mastiff and then does not sniff whatever? Do we need a but not? And would it be different if it were tying together noun phrases versus clauses? Like the dog sniffs the mastiff but does not dig a hole versus the dog sniffs the mastiff but not the chihuahua. Would those be different?
Yeah.
And David is considering that. I have no ideas for it, so I can't even try to.
We need a word that means something like separate, distinct, unique, or bold.
Bold. See if we had any verbs entered. I think we only have nouns entered, though. Oh, there's a verb. Okay. Because I was going to, as you were thinking, I was going to try to enter some dictionary entries. Really just have one verb?
We don't have any entry, but it's really easy to enter words in this language. We just haven't done it.
What are the forms? That's the... So the object form is actually last?
That should be Avram.
Really? Okay. Because that's the intervocalic alternation.
It's only if it causes palatalization.
Palatalization. Okay. And so we're doing genitive, locative, and then object forms?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that... Oh, well that's fun.
Thanks.
Okay.
We haven't actually updated that page yet.
Mm-mm. forms are listed in this order. It was genitive, locative, and object alternations.
I missed it. Did you respond to Viren?
No, I haven't put them in yet, but I know they're there and I need to go get them. But I haven't added them to the official list yet, and I will make sure I do that after the stream because I don't want to get in during the stream on screen.
Miles, I don't like break as much. I don't think it makes as much sense. It's much more metaphorical than like joining or leaving, which could be understood quite literally. And that's what I liked about those forms. What I was thinking is that there's some form that could come to mean things like distinct or bold or unique or interesting, and that a very small old form of it could be used as an addition after the words that are coordinators to mean but.
Oh, I don't have my notebook to write.
You can write it now.
No, I'm trying to figure out the best way to make a new entry. I'm just gonna have to go back and forth a whole lot because I don't know these well enough. Okay, it's gonna be in the cheese. To bark at. Oh no. I'm gonna have to look. Ah! No. I'm gonna have to find out to bark. I don't remember how to do the upside down R. Oh, with a downward. Okay. And this is going to be whole. There we go. And that will be whole. Okay. Now, well, you're still thinking, hopefully.
Wait, where is this?
I'm using time up while you're thinking about the but not because I don't know where you're going with it. And now I'm checking alternations for the GH. A, O, go. Okay. So nothing changes until the O.
Jake, right now you're looking at my extremely shocked face.
What? Yay! Good job, Jake.
All right.
Nothing happens with the A or the wa alternations. It's only the O that changes.
I feel like there's nobody right now who really understands or appreciates my idea for this word needing to mean unique or something.
I like it. I am just...
There's no need for the at there in the English side.
For me there is, but I will take it away for you.
And put it back.
Oh. Okay. don't you want to know that it can be used transitively, which it cannot in English?
We're gonna put
A-hole. And it should be A, right? Yes, because nothing has triggered. Those have not triggered. So those should all be the same. Oh my goodness. So now I can delete to bark from up here.
Yeah.
Okay, so to be unique.
I don't know, or something that gives rise to it. That's the thing.
Okay.
Some word that means something more basic that can come to mean variously unique, interesting, distinct, bold, rebellious, something like that.
Okay. Um, indeed, indeed. Trying to think. Most of what I'm thinking of, though, would not be a basic verb, but is like a passive reading, like to be marked. To have a dry nose. That's not to be rebellious, though. That's like to potentially be sick. What behavior makes a dog seem less dog-like?
Or even more doggish.
But like over the top doggish.
I kind of like that. You just said to roll over.
Could also be to kick, or like specifically with the back legs.
What about to stand?
To stand on the back two legs specifically. Yeah. But then also like if you're burying something with your back two legs, like you're kicking sand up over it.
Maybe you stand for the positive vocative. Wait.
Bubba says my dog used to eat cat food. That was pretty weird. To take or to steal, like the rebellious dog will just steal the steak without begging for it.
I like this idea of standing. And it could be a type of thing that just gets added as a
like this to stand up, or a different one?
Yeah, that one. As an ad hoc kind of suffix that undergoes mutation.
Will they have a different stand if they're standing on the back two legs versus standing? Like this one was used for the locative, the copular locative.
Yeah. What, you've just been teaching your sister pre-calculus continuously over the past however many weeks?
It's a big thing. But welcome back, Silvertail.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bubba. Ad hoc essentially, I mean, I don't want to say it means randomly, but it's like
After the fact.
that's what it means in Latin. And the way that we use it means for no good reason, for no like logical reason, for no other reason like that. It's just, well, we're just going to do this. So, like, you know, if you're moving and a full box can be an ad hoc chair, um, it's not like you're going to keep it as a chair. It's just that it's there and you need to sit down. So,
Okay, so we also have to shake, which could be into scratch. We don't have, but I feel like that could be another one.
I just wanted to show you what I was thinking. Which was, we have, and then, and I'll call it now, but then, but now. I mean, and I'm just saying now it means at the same time. So we have hey, and we have oh, then we have hey, play, full play. There we go. That was what I meant.
And is that specifically for stand?
It's from stand.
Okay. Like it's and then stands.
Yeah, and or standing. You know, standing up like adverbially. And the distinction is between the previous, which is done in the old doggish way, and then in the new doggish way, standing up, it's doing the other thing. So it's but, it's and but surprising.
I don't know why those got shifted. Like everything around it was full. Those were not.
So
really awful.
What do you think about this?
Is it too heavy? Would it get reduced a little bit more from hechwe? I guess it's but then hechwe, bohwe.
I was thinking that but can sometimes be, not always, be a little heavier. Like in Arabic, the shortest form of it is lakin, but often it's walakin, just 3 syllables.
Okay.
The ha to ra was a kind of shortening. I thought about way, but then I was like,
Like hewe.
yeah, but it's like ha to ra is already shortened, you know?
Yeah.
Or lenited.
Would the what was the form of to stand again?
Of which one?
The actual verb.
Qued.
Would that affect the fact that this comes from Bowa? Would that at all change the form that you would be thinking as a shortened, or would you think that it wouldn't be created as a unit until after boho already is shortened to just bo?
Let's give it a little shot ski.
Nice smiles.
Oh, whoops.
And David is putting that into Lexergy. Bulk. Jued.
Well,
Which it could then be kept voiceless here.
It could be kept voiceless, yeah.
But not in this one.
Right,
that
but
one,
not in that one. And no, it wouldn't palatalize because it was formerly a uvular.
That's kind of cool to have herue, but bohue. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay. I like that.
All right. Tethys B, the swashbuckling script, was the winner of the poll. To the delight of some.
Not necessarily many, but some.
I mean, most, I guess, would be true, but...
But it's also, it's hard to get a read on because some people changed their A votes once they saw that A was not winning. And so it's like to the half delight of some. I won't say to the dismay of David. I think both of us liked all three options.
Yeah.
It was really just like the third option with the kind of serifed font was very different from the sarkiche. And I think my brain kind of levitated towards that. Gravitated, rather, not levitated. Yeah. Because of the difference. But that didn't mean I didn't like it.
I really enjoyed.
Nice, Tethys.
I really enjoyed all three options. The first one was my first idea, but and I thought it was really cool. And then I had this thought. It was like, wait a minute. We know that dogs like bones, but in this society of anthropomorphic mammals, where are they getting bones? It's like, it's because it's not like dogs enjoy fish bones the way they do, like, beef bones, because, like, fish bones, you just crunch them up and then they're gone. Like the ones that you can gnaw on. And it's like, then this raised questions of, like, are they herding cows? Like, where are they getting them?
And by herding, you mean both homophones? Herding and herding?
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, it was an uncomfortable thought. So it was like I was much more okay with A losing at that point because it was like, I don't know. There are certain elements of reality, of course, that we are relaxing, and that's true, I think, of any artistic work. But that one, it was a question of like, well, if they're actually going to do this, then where are they coming from? It's kind of like with Pokemon, and it's like there are no animals in Pokemon that are not Pokemon, and so if they're eating meat, where is it coming from? Many Pokemon games, there is no meat, but then there is in some. And yeah, where is it coming from? It's a troubling thought.
We won't ask about where the cats get their diets from because they are carnivores.
Fish.
We don't care about fish.
No.
Interesting.
Fish aren't affected. They couldn't be otherwise because they're in the water. Yeah.
Okay, but looking at what you typed, you mean if A, but then, or but and reading?
Yes. That was just a copy.
Oh, copy. Gotcha. You're right, Tethys.
Are they called disjunctive coordinators? What are they called?
That sounds right. I'm going to search that term, but that feels good. Disjunction is more like or, I guess.
Right. Adversative.
Adversative. There we go. Yeah. Whoop, back to here. There we go. Thank you, Biblaridian. Well, you know, in Silvertail, there's, even though we chose a particular style to create, there's always the opportunity for, you know, dogs to be like, we're going to add style to this in much the same way that we have many different ways we can create the Roman alphabet in script and in typography. And so just because the, you know, the bone script isn't being used now, that doesn't mean that some dogs don't use it just because they like the shape. As a nod to their ancestors, to be like, they used to be hardcore.
Mm.
Won't mention that those bones were rawhide bones coming from humans. They were hardcore. And so that would be the button.
Is that right?
Yes, because it's the other one is the bow, which is actually
right
going to end up being bohue, because the G would devoice in front of the hua, according to Lexergy.
Yeah.
And because of that devoicing, when it drops out, it's going to just stay bohue.
Oh, and it's the uvular that's making them come down, so it is, the vowel is different.
It's bowl instead of bow.
No.
Oh.
I didn't know if they would change, but they do.
Okay. And it would be the eh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, hey what?
Hey what? Hey what?
That's what I feel like I said.
That's good. All right. Coordination is done because we're going to just ignore disjunctive coordination for the moment.
We're going to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
Have we really?
It sure does sound intentionally like that thing I've never heard of.
Yeah, I've also never heard of that, so I can't say that that was intentional. Oh, it's a food that Miles got food poisoning from.
Why is the H capitalized?
Maybe it's like from, like a proper name.
Mm. Cheers.
Cheers. It's a place.
Okay.
I'm going to look this up.
Yeah, like, look it up on the screen so we can see images.
Uh-huh. Oh, I can't select it. That's no fun.
No, you're just going to have to type it without the accents and hope that it gets you the right place.
Boom.
Oh, there it is.
There. Mmm.
Here, go to the Wikipedia.
Is that this one here?
Kopiko, the Bumbohue of hard candies.
Rice, vermicelli, lemongrass, beef, shrimp sauce, pork knuckles, and pig blood curds. I'm not sure what to think of that.
It says the
rest of it looks good.
It says the predominant flavor is that of lemongrass, which sounds cool. But the sauce looks like it would give me heartburn.
But it doesn't list tomato. I think it's red because of the pig blood. And tomato is what?
Pig blood curdles and this blood tofu.
I really don't know what to think about that. But all that is to say, I'm not sure it would have an effect on you in that way, other than potentially, like Miles, getting food poisoning. Well, Miles, then,
yeah, that would.
That was not the part that I thought gave you poisoning. Huh. Oh, Ragdoll. In the middle of a deep argument with ChatGPT. I'm so curious about that. Jake thinks the red is chili. Okay, so the red is chili.
Which would indeed cause me heartburn.
Well, depends on the amount.
It does, but like to actually make it that color, I don't know.
Interesting. So now we've learned about a new dish. Although I will say their bow was different than Jake's bow.
Oh. Did Jake make a mistake?
Never. I think Wikipedia made a mistake. Okay, so we've got coordination.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Do we want to even think about disjunctive coordination? We had to learn on the fly some interesting bit of disjunctive coordination in Finnish. They have two different ones, which is like X and or Y, and then X or Y. I can't remember what it is. But it's like
it's either specifically one or the other. Both cannot be true.
Yeah.
Or it means and or, like it doesn't matter. So like if I ask you, do you speak English or French? But I mean, like, I don't care which one you speak, but do you speak one or both of them? Then you would use one version of or versus do you speak English or French, meaning like you can only speak one of these and your answer can only be one of them.
And that one's Thai. Thai, yeah. Yeah. And then one of them...
Thai?
Yes, it is.
I always forget.
I remember because I remember as Thai being the more vicious one, the more permanent one.
Because it's only one or the other. But I mean, for real, Thai and Bai was so similar. If we want to deal with it.
Yeah, it just amuses me so much. I mean, Ragdoll is, I think that's pretty much what happens with, I think, a lot of these companies. Like, we need something new, something fresh, something people haven't seen before. What about tacos? What do you mean? Tacos already exist. Okay, but these tacos have shrimp in them. You know.
Okay, but Miles's comment is going to help me remember them now. Oops, I made them. I love it. I love it. It's one or the other. Pick. I love it. Okay, so if we wanted to do that, like I'm on board with that. Do we feel that different strategies are warranted in this language? Or should it just be like a single disjunctive?
I think that we'll be able to answer that if we figure out what source it's going to come from. And that may be difficult. I don't remember how to get any of these sources.
To opt, to choose. Maybe to fall, like you have one, follow the other. Oh, leave would have been good for this. You have one, leave the other.
So, tie in Finnish comes from want.
To lack, to want. Have one, lack the other.
And then vai. Probably ultimately from the same root as vaya, possibly by analogy with tie. And vaya, full, partial, incomplete, short of, less than.
So back to that idea of lacking or being less, yeah.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I think we mixed it up.
The exclusive is vi.
Yeah.
Inclusive is tie.
Uh-huh.
So you've been telling me wrong this whole time?
I swear that the course was wrong.
Me. They're also giving us forms that apparently people who speak Finnish on a daily basis don't use.
Yeah, so we screwed it up. So it's not ultimatum, it's V for vicious. Because the example they have here is onko se suuri vai pieni, which is it big or small? And it's like, can't answer with yes.
It's got to be one or the other.
Yeah, and the example they give is like, same sentence, one with tie, one with vi. It's like, did you eat bread or cheese? And for one of them, you can say, yes, I ate one of those, and it doesn't matter if you ate one or both. But the other one is asking, which one of the two did you eat? And you can't say both. It has to be one or the other. Okay. V for vicious. V for vital. Vi. Vitality.
I'm so going to be confused anytime.
And this one came second. That's important.
So because it was a narrowing?
Yeah, like the other one came first that was more permissive.
Okay. So, lack, want, without.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to use leave because we already used that.
Mm-hmm.
Have we used bury yet? Have one, bury the other? Otherwise, I am. No, we have not come up with any root for that. Okay, so that is an option.
It is an option. In order for that to work, I would be most comfortable if it preceded both elements.
Okay.
Otherwise,
like
it sounds
bury,
like
bury.
You're always burying the second. Whereas that one, it's clear that you're being asked to make a choice. Which one? I like that so much, I just want to do it.
The bury, bury?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we don't have a form, so we can come up with something that makes sense?
Yeah. Also, something that I found incredibly helpful and awesome about learning Arabic, I'm sure it's just an accident, but and is wa, or is ow. It's just backwards.
AW.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have a preference for forms for bury?
My God, that's the most Turkish thing to ever happen.
In Turkish, the inclusive word for or came from a compound of the Arabic word for and the Persian word for or.
Nice. And or.
That's the entire history of Turkey in one word. I love it. Oh, I'm not surprised at this, yeah. By the way, Ragdoll, it sounds like your ideas are a lot better than ChatGPT's, which, if you ask me, is not a surprise.
Okay. These are just forms I spit out. Do you like any of them or none of them?
I like them. Some of them may need to get shortened. I say let's do it. Let's do it. So just give me a minute. I'm going to do the same thing as I did for the other one. So some of these might shorten. Oh, and what Biblarian says here, I know that if you're not like super, if you don't know a lot of, linguistic stuff, it's going to feel like a little difficult to follow. But this is a super common strategy. So the exclusive or, so meaning this or that but not both, came from the negative existential copula plus the conditional suffix. In other words, it's essentially were it not, something like that. And little expressions like that often become grammatical markers because they're just really complex ideas, and the only way to say them is just to say the whole thing in some way, and then they just shorten up. Here on your screen.
Yeah, sorry, I was double checking the protoforms to make sure we haven't already used them.
Sure.
I just need to check Rove is the only one I haven't checked yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you on the IPA keyboard when you did that?
Mm-hmm.
Dang it.
Why?
Because I couldn't remember if I put this on the Conlanger keyboard.
Oh.
And if I did, I can't find it. And so.
All right, and then we have
Which is, yeah, going to start out that way too. And then I will,
Meg.
before you hit send on the poll, after you make it, I'm going to go check Rove is the only form I haven't checked yet in our list.
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, no, we don't have that. Okay, so we're good.
I think we might have all of these cause mutation, or none of them. It just depends.
Because it would be potentially more closely related because it's it's a unit kind
only
of
if
situation.
1 or 4 wins. If the middle 2 win, no.
Okay.
Because they wouldn't cause any mutation. Um,
So it's
So we
going to be
have-
like very
oh,
experimental.
I am. By the way, I'm really sorry. I made a mistake on the first one. Both of those should be minus ATR. So lojo, rov, mig, bom. Lo, ro, mi, bo.
Got a little. I breathed in a little while I was drinking my kombucha. My goodness. I'm choking a little. Trying not to super cough a lot so I don't just fill the stream with coughing.
We do have space for more votes here. We have more viewers than votes, so I feel like I should leave it open.
And as you leave it open, you had said the first and the fourth, which are the le and the bon forms, would potentially cause mutations,
They could.
whereas the middle two would most likely not, the ro and the me
Yeah,
forms.
because they're
So keep that in mind.
they're protoforms ending a consonant, and the only consonants that cause mutation are nasals.
Although in that case, would the Luke form not cause mutations because it originally ended in a
Interesting question.
super cough a lot? Yeah, it would be.
No, I think that you're right. Because it depends when the mutation happens.
Boom, boom, cha. Exactly.
Volatilization, nasal assimilation. Intervocalic clinician is 15.
So where does the qua become a ko? I feel like that's actually earlier.
I think so too. Okay, no.
Something with the codas that should.
Okay, no. Prelateral lowering, no. Diphthong polarization of voices, so labialized. Okay.
Wait, 11.
11.
So it's 11 is before 15, so it would potentially affect then,
Yeah.
depending on when it got reduced. Well, no, if it got reduced anyway, it would be reduced probably to a vocalic form.
Yeah, I think that we're set here.
Okay.
All right.
So Luke is to bury.
Lojo. Lojo.
I meant for the protoform.
Yeah.
Luke.
Disjunctive coordinator is.
Dang it. I don't remember. Nope. I don't remember how to do this in our common Reiki word either. There we go. So Luke. Oh. Yes. Okay. Which is going to be, I can't do that in this keyboard.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to go join David again.
Okay.
Okay, so this will be the cat sleeps or the dog runs.
Well, actually, I was thinking
The cat or the dog sleeps?
is right.
cat or the dog is sleeping. I don't know why I thought to make it a question when we haven't done questions yet, but yeah, let's do the other one too. Either cat, sleeping, or the dog is running. Yeah.
Okay, so now would this be Vroom on this one?
Well, that's what we need to
Okay.
discuss here. So there are three possibilities, and I don't know which one makes the most sense. It's kind of a lame patron poll, but it could be a patron poll. Option one, no,
Like no mutation.
no
Yeah.
mutation. It is a coordinator, not a C commander. It assigns no case, or thus it causes no mutation. Option two, only nouns mutate when it is used to coordinate nouns or noun phrases.
It's almost treated like
Nouns.
a preposition.
On analogy with prepositions. Yes.
What was our prepositions? I forget what our typo was.
Prepositions.
Prepositions. There we go.
It doesn't cause the initial element of a full clause to mutate because there it is treated as something separate. Option three.
Everything mutates.
Everything mutates.
And really there it would be not only an analogy from the prepositions, but it would then analogize all the way over to the verbs.
The phenomenon is phonological and blind to grammar. And so it simply causes mutation in the following word, whatever that word is a part of. All right.
I like it.
Yeah.
So do you want to leave that as an option while we look at some other things before we make a decision?
Yeah, unless we come up with some other poll, because.
Well, from here, I guess a follow-up question is whether you wanted to have the tie-vi situation from finish. Like right now, this is, I believe, the Vi situation, the more vicious one. This or that happens. However, it could also be the kind of coordinative or the other one where it's like this and or that happens.
Hmm.
Oh, are you thinking something? I feel like David has an idea.
I was thinking, it's on screen right now.
I think what he may be thinking is to use nominal coordination between the two elements if it means and or. Is that what you were looking at?
Yeah, it's not going to work. It's not going to work because of where it comes from. The onale. It's not going to work. So never mind.
Because it's the comitative is essentially.
But do that, whatever the word for one is.
Well, the other idea I was having.
Let's hear your idea, because I don't think
It's
I don't
well,
think
it's
this is
not
going
perfect, but
place.
if because Lou is Barry, and if we brought back like this sort of clausal coordination from join, like you either bury this or you join that. It's like and or it's kind of like joining the two different forms, like a what was it, Turkish that did that, but not as a compound, but as two completely different units. Just a second, I have another idea, but it's forming at the edges of my brain. It's always the most frustrating when it's right there, but I can't put my finger on it. I feel like I could have an idea if you just let me sit here in silence for like 10 minutes, but that's not exactly.
Does that need for you to have this idea? Does this need to be here?
No.
Okay. So while you think, I had another idea, which was taking this, treating it like a suffix, and it means actually. And so the way that you would do these things, it's like you would just have this little actually thing and be like, are you eating, I don't know, are you eating fish or grass? And you say, actually, I'm eating both.
To stand. Should we mention that this comes from to stand?
Somewhere probably. Anime fan, we already did that poll.
And I know it's an. I think. Oops. Did I not? There we go. Wait, I think it is, or is it two? It is two. Wait. I was close. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a conjunction. Okay.
Here, can you go to me in the document?
Yeah.
Since this was an easy thing to forget, I want to point it out. So indeed, as Bubba said, Halhoff is going to be base 18, and there are sub-bases for 11 and 6. However, this we never did. So we could always throw that up as a poll at some point in time when we don't have one. It's essentially, it's like, is it going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then new base up to 11, and then new base up to 18, and then just base 18 after that, or is it going to be base 6 up to 11, meaning that the word for 6 is going to be the old word for 10, the word for 7 is going to be the old word for 11, and so on up to 11. Or is it just going to stop and then the base 11 is going to take over? So anyway, at some point we can do that. It's like a KM. Anyway,
Okay. What if we played Okay, when you say disjunctive coordination with the multiple of the berry, did you have a reading in your mind that you thought would be the base one, whether or not it can end up being used for both um, exclusive or inclusive, or did you have a base reading of that?
Inclusive.
Okay, so like the cat or the dog is sleeping, it's fine if only one is sleeping, but also fine if both are sleeping.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking of using a different form or a compounded form of essentially like you're going to bury one, you're going to chew on the other, or you're going to bury one, or you're going to sit on the other. And you got to choose, like, you're going to bury or sit. Now, it could be a compound form if you like that idea. It could be compounded both, like bury, sit, or, bury, chew, bury, chew. Or it could be like sort of an either or situation where you get one up front, the other in the middle, and it's like you understand that it means one or the other.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the way it has to work. I think it's a really, really good idea.
We don't have to sit. I don't remember if we have to chew. We do.
There we go.
We already have dacho.
That's kind of perfect.
And this is this derivative auxiliary. If we don't want to use, I don't know how you feel about double using that.
I think it's fine. We're already double using hey, though it turns out that's just a coincidence.
Okay.
I really like that. It would also have it's exactly the same form. It still fits with this poll.
Because it would either cause the mutation or not, because it ends in the same. Yeah.
Yep.
And so it would shorten. Remember, this one we actually get. No, it does shorten to da. Okay. And that is da. Nope. That is, there we go. So that is not where you are. Oh, bye, Silvertail.
Bye. It's that, right?
With an H. It's also aspirated.
Oh, well, so with the other one.
The other one was not, I don't think. Or does it have to be because all Q's are aspirated in the protoforms?
All of them.
Yeah.
We did want it to be separate. We could do bite, but I kind of like this.
Also, that means I put the protoforms wrong here. Well, dang it. I meant to put that after. There we go. I like that. And the da would be the second element.
And then do we have a third animal?
Ooh, just a second. Do we? Yeah, we have mouse,
What is that?
which is uhu. How do we not have? Okay, so it's apparently uhu,
Mm-hmm.
but like I don't see, we haven't entered it anywhere else outside of sentences. And so like we don't have a protoform entered.
It's got to be.
I guess it doesn't matter because it would still show up as uhu.
Well,
It's got to, well, they're both with the grave accents, and so it's got to be a, I think it would be a
sorry.
K or a QW rather.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking there. Yeah. You're right.
So UQW
Yeah.
would be the protoform.
With
I
the aspiration.
really don't know how we didn't enter that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay.
Stay grammar, Bubba.
All right. Okay. Oh, either the cat, the dog, or the mouse. Nice. Cool. All right, and then both of these, because as David mentioned, both of them come from a similar ending. One is velar, one is uvular, but both of them are labialized and aspirated stops at the end, which means they're both up for these three options for mutation when they're used in this way. For the da specifically, that might be interesting because then it would separate it from when it's being used as the strivative, the try to reading with verbs, because it wouldn't necessarily mutate with conative is also the fancy word, auxiliary. So when it's being used as an auxiliary, it would not cause mutation. But when it is being used as this either or situation, it could potentially cause the mutation in nouns and or verbs.
Yeah.
Potentially both. And so that's like a kind of cool thing to be able to do. Again, though, it doesn't have to because the construction itself would lend itself to this particular reading in context. And so it could still work without it. So that's kind of cool. Oh, yikes, Silvertail. You cannot have no AC in a car in Texas. Like any summer. This summer is especially bad. Yikes. Okay, so I really like that.
Yeah, that's good.
And I actually now, even though like when you had first suggested the poll, it kind of seemed light, now it seems heavier with more than one thing being affected and the sort of potential for differentiation or potential for a sort of homophonous phrase being used in a different construction. I like that. Okay, so David, we have 10 minutes.
Next place I think we should go is yes/no questions, polar questions.
In my head, we've already done these, and I know we haven't because we've looked at this document more than once, and we've seen very obviously that this section is blank, but like in my head, I keep thinking we've already done this.
Yeah, I think it's good because then you can actually write better examples for this because it makes more sense with like either or when you're using questions.
Okay, so I kind of, just a second, I'm having an idea that seems really silly, and I'm trying to think if it actually works. Okay, so part of this is because a song got stuck in my head after the other day I was listening to that playlist that was like 90s countries hit 90s country hits rather. Let me pluralize the right words. Um, and there's a song in there that's like all these questions, and then it's like check yes or no for like yes no options. And I'm like, for dogs, it's like wag yes or no. So like I want to use like da 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 wag, like a particle that literally just means wag, as in like do you wag? Sort of like savvy, like you hear me, savvy, like you got it.
Yeah.
And it's so silly, but like that's what immediately came to my head. Because I feel like with dogs, like if the answer is yes, you could imagine the happy tail wag.
Yeah, we haven't.
And now I'm shaking my tail for you.
Have we done negation?
Yes, we've done negation. And it's actually based on the copular. So like here, we've got emphatic negation, but also standard. And it's, again, based on actually the copular.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, yeah. It would just be easiest to leave negation out of this. Yeah, I think we should move forward with that.
Oh my God, it makes me so happy.
Yeah, we haven't actually come up with a word for it. It was one of our ideas for pluralization that we didn't use.
Yeah, and then we have the waggish fellow. But yeah, we don't actually have a word for to wag. And so we could come up with that now. Leave this up here. Are you feeling anything in particular, David? Mateus, yeah, it was when we were in San Jose, and that would have been May, first weekend of May. Because it was the very end of the semester for the Berkeley students.
Yeah.
And so I want to say it was the first Thursday of May. I don't know what day that was, but there you have it, like May 5th or something. However, though, I'd be super excited about having lots of thunderstorms. I was excited when we had a more thunderstormy season this year here than we had experienced in the prior year that I had lived here. I've got so much experience living in California now. Okay, so we just used D though. Never mind. Could use. Oh, no, we don't have a labialized T. That's right. Only the back ones. Okay. Okay. Do you like any of what I've come up with here? Like any starts that I could play with?
You want them all to be heavy?
Oh, I figured we'd shorten it. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
So I was going for something heavier that could be shortened as a particle. But you're right, it doesn't have to be.
I don't know, like, what do you like the sound of? You like all four of those? We can throw them up.
I need to double check. We have duck. We've done duck and dull are both grammaticalized and they're pharyngealized. So that one. Oops. Oh, we don't have any WUs that have been grammaticalized. Oh gosh, I saw the mail person go by earlier, so I just thought we didn't have any mail today. I was not expecting to have a mail drop in this moment. Oh my. Okay, so we have the packle coming from a TH. Otherwise, we don't have any. No. Okay, so we don't otherwise have any THs. Oops. Just also seeing. Oh, that could be kind of fun.
Wow, it's so weird.
But like, I wonder what. Does that come out the same?
Yeah, it's because it only palatalizes when there's a diphthong. And the first element of the diphthong disappears.
But then this raises an interesting question. If we use this form and we had a grammaticalized particle, would it have grammaticalized prior to the diphthong's effect on the T? And therefore the shortened form would just be like te? Or would it be te?
We could do that, but cha is pretty short for,
It's very short, yeah.
It's very convenient.
I kind of like that, cha.
You want to do it?
Yeah. I'm going to add this. I keep accidentally hitting the wrong key. And that needs to be CH, not just a C.
Neither.
Oh, TY is what it needs to be, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Okay. Cool. Oh my gosh. Pages. There we go. I was going to say Pages is confused about where you are. Okay. Mebram, tia. Tia. Na tia. Mebram, tia.
Oops.
I like it. It sounds like a true or false question of your nightmares. Is the dog not a mastiff? True? False?
But yeah, that
Nice.
works. All right.
Yay! Awesome. All right, so we have survived to the end of the stream, and by we I mean David. Hopefully by next week. It's not the same option.
Yeah.
Option. Goodness, I'm really shorting out on my words. The same situation is what I meant. Okay, so patrons, you're going to be deciding on the mutation factor of our OR situation up here, which I'm actually quite excited about to see what comes out of that. So I think that's cool. All right, so hope you have a wonderful week. Stay grammar, and we'll see you. Oh goodness, we'll see you in August.
Bye, everybody.